Just enjoy and listen to, and have a fun of it.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we cut through the noise, stack up your sources, and give you the essential knowledge fast. We really hope you have fun during this deep dive.
And we are thrilled you've joined us today. Our aim, to make sure you walk away not just informed, but, genuinely fascinated by what we unpack.
Okay, so before we jump into today's electrifying topic, please hit that subscribe button, give us a like if you feel like it, and set your notification alarms. You really don't want to miss these conversations.
All right, ready to dive in? Let's talk about this huge transformation happening in South Korean sports.
Absolutely. So recently we saw a massive sports moment. You might have caught it. The LG twins winning the Korean series. Huge deal. But while the game itself was incredible, what really stood out, I think, was the crowd. We've noticed this massive, very visible influx of young women, mostly in their 20s, like really actively participating at games. And it's not just baseball anymore, it's K-League football, too.
Yeah, and it's not just, sitting there quietly. It's a very active, very engaged kind of fandom. You can't miss it.
So that leads us to the big question for our analysis today. Is this whole phenomenon maybe the maturing of that really powerful female fandom culture, the one that basically built the K-pop industry?
You mean the fans who are teenagers then?
Exactly. Have those 10-something fans grown up, hit their 20s, and shifted all that incredible energy, that economic power into sports now?
It's a really compelling idea. And honestly, based on the sources you pulled together, the data seems to more than just support it. It basically defines this whole new market paradigm.
Right. So our mission today is clear. We're taking a deep dive. We're looking at the stats, the cultural drivers, and the strategies clubs really need to adopt to connect with this 20-something female-centric sports fandom. Okay, let's get into it.
Okay, so to really get this, you first have to understand that the basic idea of sports consumption in Korea has fundamentally changed. It used to be, pretty male-centric.
Right, very much focused on winning, on performance.
Exactly. Performance, who won, who lost.
Yeah.
It often created this kind of competitive, maybe even rigid atmosphere.
Yeah, focused purely on the scoreboard, and you almost needed this deep historical knowledge of the sport to even participate, right?
Precisely. But today,
yeah,
that definition is totally rewritten. Sports attendance, going to a game, it's now seen as a lifestyle consumption structure.
Lifestyle consumption structure. What does that mean exactly?
It means it blends the experience, the culture around it, the social activity going with friends, and even fashion, all into one single event.
Ah, okay.
So the stadium isn't just a place for a game anymore. It's become this collective social event, something you like, authenticate, and share, usually through social media.
And the numbers really back this up, showing that women in their 20s are the essential force driving this whole new structure, yeah?
We saw the KBO League hit that historic milestone, 10 million spectators last year. And that record wasn't just like a little bit of growth here and there. It was really pushed by this new core demographic. They are basically the market's new engine.
Let's look at the numbers, because they are pretty striking. There was this survey asking fans about their interest in pro baseball. The overall average who said their interest increased was about 64.3%.
Okay, good.
But for women in their 20s, that number jumped to 77.9%. That's a huge difference, like 13.6 percentage points higher.
Wow. Okay, yeah, that's not just growth. That's a structural shift. That group's engagement has helped lift the main baseball viewing rate quite a bit, from 34% up to 43%.
So they're not just filling empty seats.
No, not at all. They're actually reshaping the league's whole trajectory, its engagement metrics. It's fundamental.
Okay, so that's the numbers proof, the attendance proof. Now, let's talk money, the financial side. They often get called the big spenders of the league, right? Turning that enthusiasm into actual cash spent.
Well,
we looked at the average spending on things like cheering gear, team merchandise.
yes. And the average overall spending per fan on goods was around 235,000 Korean won. For women in their 20s, that average was just slightly higher, 237,000 won.
Hold on a sec. 237,001. That's only, 2,001 more than the average? That doesn't sound that big. Are we sure that tiny difference really proves they're the big spenders shifting the market? Seems a bit marginal.
But that's where you have to dig a bit deeper. That's the deep dive part. The small difference in the amount spent hides a really big difference in the type of spending.
Okay.
This group, they aren't just buying cheap foam fingers or basic hats. The fact their average spend is slightly higher actually points to a high willingness to invest in high-value, really design-focused goods. Think designer collaborations, specialized clothing, maybe customized accessories.
Ah, okay, I see. So the gear isn't just a way to show support, it's more like an expression of their identity, a premium fashion statement almost.
Exactly. It's about what that purchase says about them socially, about their personal style. It's that willingness to invest in higher value items combined with their growing numbers that makes them the financial backbone.
Makes sense. And we're seeing this beyond baseball too, right? The sources confirm that the K-League, professional football, is seeing a very similar surge. Lots more 20-something women showing up.
Yeah, absolutely. And this really confirms that the whole thing is tied to a broader trend we see with the MZ generation, this preference for what's called field experience leisure.
Field experience leisure, like being there in person.
Exactly. They crave these live, authentic, shared experiences, things they can capture, verify and share online. Just watching something pass.
Good evening, and welcome to the Story radio station, where we explore tales from around the world.
The huge statistical and financial impact of the 20-something female fan base. Now, in part 2, we're digging into the why, what's motivating them, and crucially, how are clubs and leagues responding strategically?
Well, the main driver seems to be fulfilling some pretty deep social and psychological needs. For this demographic, the stadium experience is maybe less about the final score than about the social event itself. That collective feeling, sharing it with friends.
Right. It gives you that real-world sense of belonging, something maybe digital connections don't always provide. That shared experience is the real prize.
That's absolutely why clubs like the LG Twins, for instance, strategically marketed their games as active outdoor leisure. They framed it as friendly, energetic, not just intense competition.
So repositioning the whole thing.
Exactly. Make it feel like a safe, accessible, high-quality social outing. Plus, there's this powerful emotional satisfaction factor. It comes from loyalty, this fan belief you sometimes hear that team performance is the best welfare. That connection is a huge motivator.
Let's switch gears to technology, because this group is obviously digital native. Something like 76.7% use mobile live streaming. They really value flexibility in how they watch.
And what's really fascinating there is how heavily they use visual platforms. Their Instagram usage rate is around 32.6%. Which is way higher than the overall average of about 17.6%.
Wow, nearly double.
Yeah. So that tells clubs pretty clearly. Your content has to be visually dominant. Think fashion, the stadium atmosphere, those proof shots, the in-jung shot they take to show they were actually there. Basically, if you can't Instagram it, did it even happen?
Good point. And this leads to that really clever move by the KBO, right? Allowing free use of short game videos, under 40 seconds, on social media. That changed everything.
Oh, absolutely. That simple policy basically turned passive viewers into active prosumers.
Prosumers meaning?
Right. So prosumer is someone who's both a consumer and a producer of content. By letting fans share those short clips, the league essentially got fans to do its trend setting and content creation for them.
Free marketing.
Pretty much. They generate the memes, the fashion reels showing off their gear, the clips capturing the stadium buzz, and that really lowers the barrier for new fans to get interested. It makes the whole baseball culture feel current, self-sustaining, and, trendy.
At the same time, the league itself is working to make the game experience smoother for newcomers. They brought in things like the automatic ball strike system or ABS and the pitch clock.
You have those modernization efforts. And the surveys showed fans really like them. About 86.4% responded positively overall to the new rules.
And the ABS, the automatic ball strike system, that got the highest approval.
It did, nearly 89%.
Yeah.
And this is a huge strategic insight. Think about it from the perspective of a new, maybe casual fan, someone drawn in by the social scene or the fashion.
Okay.
Slow gameplay, endless arguments about balls and strikes. Those things are just killers for their experience. They're confusing, they're boring.
Right, they just make you tune out or get frustrated.
Exactly. So by bringing in ABS, they minimize the controversies, they speed things up, and they provide a much more seamless viewing experience. That's absolutely crucial for keeping those new fans, the ones who aren't deep experts in every single rule yet.
Okay, this is where it all seems to tie together culturally. Bloatcore. This whole trend of wearing sports jerseys and uniforms as everyday casual clothes, it's gone totally mainstream, hasn't it? You see K-pop idols, influencers wearing them.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Bloatcore basically takes the team uniform and elevates it from just a symbol of loyalty to being a genuinely hip fashion item. And this perfectly hits that sweet spot for the 20-something female consumer who's interested in design. in personal expression.
It makes team gear into a legitimate accessory they actually want to wear.
Exactly. It's critical, so you get this powerful feedback loop starting.
Let me guess. Fashion, like bloatcore, makes sports seem cool and lowers the entry barrier.
Right. Which leads to more people attending games wanting that field experience.
Which then drives more Instagram posts, the proof shots, the content creation.
Which in turn boosts the sales of those high-value goods we talked about. It all feeds itself.
So if you're a club, your strategy has to go way beyond just managing the team on the field now.
Absolutely. First, facility investment becomes critical. You have to prioritize female-friendly amenities. Things like really clean restrooms, maybe even powder rooms, better accessibility overall. That's key for getting people to come back.
Okay, facilities first. What else?
Second, F&B. Food and beverage innovation. Stadium food can't just be basic hot dogs and popcorn anymore. It needs to be thought of as mukbang content.
Mukbang content, like stuff people want to film themselves eating.
Kind of. It means the food itself needs to be trendy, visually appealing, something you'd want to post on Instagram. It becomes part of the whole event experience, not just fuel.
Got it. Facilities, food, what's third?
Third is the goods strategy. It has to get much more sophisticated. To really capture the spending power of this group, clubs probably need strategic alliances, partnerships with actual fashion brands, with designers.
Moving beyond the standard Lodo cap.
Way beyond. Think minimalist designs, sophisticated accessories, things people can actually wear day to day that subtly integrate their team loyalty into their personal style. That's how you absorb that high purchasing power. #outro.
So to wrap up our deep dive today, it's clear that 20-something female fans are way more than just spectators. They're really strategic consumers, and they are driving the market, the media, and honestly, the whole cultural transformation of professional sports in Korea. Their engagement is really the clearest path for leagues to grow into, like, global entertainment brands.
Right. So what does this all mean for making this growth last? It feels like we can boil down the strategic must-dos into maybe 3 key pillars. First, experience productization, making sure that whole on-field experience is smooth, fair, comfortable, like we saw with the success of the ABS system. Keep those casual fans engaged.
Second, digital platform expansion. Keep maximizing that 40-second video policy. Encourage fans to be prosumers on Instagram, on Reels. Basically, turn every fan into a potential marketer for you. And third, cultural integration. Really lean into things like bloatcore. Pursue those fashion collaborations. Keep the sports brand feeling fresh, trendy, extending its cultural reach way beyond just game days.
Yeah, this whole shift, it represents a huge cultural change and a massive economic opportunity too. So maybe we leave you, the listener, with this kind of provocative thought to chew on.
Ooh, okay.
If fashion and the shared social experience are becoming the main reasons people go, could a Korean sports stadium eventually become something more? Like a year-round lifestyle destination, a landmark people visit just for its social vibe or its cool factor, even when there's no game on?
That's a really interesting question. Stadium as a pure lifestyle landmark.
Yeah.
Definitely something to think about. And that is where we wrap up this deep dive. We hope this gave you a really powerful shortcut to understanding this incredible market shift. Let us know what you think about that final question.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We really look forward to diving into another fascinating topic with you next time.
And finally, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and set those alarm notifications. This has been the Deep Dive.